let's go ahead and continue with the World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear you make some noise as we get into this next match. It's PSG versus Pale Horse with the commentators Shogun and Quinn Lockdown.
It is now Europe's opportunity to move themselves into the World Championships, and it is going to be OCE's chance to bounce back after previously losing that match to G2. And this is a match between some of the biggest characters that we've had at this World Championship so far. Quinn will be joining me for this matchup. How do you see this one going?
I think that this match is going to be a very aggressive match. Pale Horse, known for being a very high-pressure team in PSG. We all have seen so many highlights from this star-studded roster. Really just so many fantastic solo plays, like they mentioned on the desk. We see Bluey going for incredible air roll shots. I think it's going to be a difficult job for Pale Horse to stop Bluey. It's going to be a lot of high-pressure, fast gameplay. That's what I have in store.
That is going to be the main thing we are looking at in here. In this game, two major questions to answer. How will this young PSG squad respond to land pressure, and how exactly do Pale Horse plan on shutting down the rookie of the season for Europe, Bluey? So we are going to get ourselves into game number one. And really, you're going to have to look at this match and say Pale Horse need to put pressure on early. They cannot afford to give any space.
Oh, you're definitely right about that. PSG's so good in space.
Bluey tries to get over there, and there's a good example of what we want to see. Already Kia coming forward, getting a block. They do not want PSG to really get themselves going. Three players actually caught themselves over in the corner. Just need Farah to stay very loud, but opportunity. Kami gets there in time, stops the long shot. To remain at 0-0. Could potentially put more opportunities forward though, as Pale Horse, a very good start for them.
Yeah, already a lot of aggressive play coming from Pale Horse. It's good to see a lot of teams with their first time on stage, especially going up against a very high-seeded team. It can be intimidating, it's scary, and seeing Pale Horse come out aggressive, it means that they're ready to play their game.
PSG were very confident coming into this matchup. I think this is almost a warm-up for them, and quite frankly, what we've seen so far might be anything but that, but we are still early times in this match. Kia puts it up high, looking for the double touch. He will get it! And 1-0, Pale Horse will take the lead.
What an incredible read. They call it the waterfall shot. Kia just staying in there the entire time. That lets him get to the ball as fast as possible. You see Fairchun coming from underneath, but Kia, as he kept that aerial going, doesn't let the clear happen.
You have to respect the midfield game. Do not allow the ball to reach that high, or you can get caught out. CJ will not have actually been too happy with that contact, but Bluey taking his time to come forward. Pale Horse are in control in game one, and they're going to try and get a two-goal lead. Now Farah on the counter-attack, can follow up, he's got time. Unfortunately, not enough. Kia comes in, shot set with the setup shot. But Bluey will be a little bit too late. He's been quiet so far, the Brit. Now an opportunity for Pale Horse to move forward, but unfortunately they took too long to get the ball under their control. First time now, we're going to see PSG be able to put forward a siege. We actually saw two players commit there for Pale Horse, and they need to avoid that. Bluey going to get up. Gets a good enough challenge, shot set, and take control of the ball. Another long clear, but unfortunately no follow-up. PSG, they're going to take the shot, and it is an open net. We are all tied up, 1 goal apiece.
This is great play from Farah here, reading the clear off to the wall from Kami, and you just see Farah lurking, waiting for the mistake, and that's key because Kia's not in the goal. He spots that, and putting that shot on target is huge, evening up the game.
They tried to find the pass over to CJ, who launched the ball over. Unfortunately, just too far behind him. CJ can't do anything about that, and it is immediately latched onto. We are all tied up. Still more than half the game left to play. Bluey tries to go for the setup. Unfortunately, demos around the field make it just a little bit more hard. PSG go for their own follow-up. Farah has to try and deal with the film of his own. Bluey now, ball up high. He's got one tap. He's going to look for the second one. He's going to do it. Anything you can do, Bluey can do better.
Going up for this aerial, he even has a defender to beat, and he still gets such a great placement on this shot. Wow, Bluey, those are the shots that we know him for.
That is huge for PSG. He was the big question mark heading into this series, into this entire tournament. They needed Bluey to step up. They need him to be a pawn in everyone's side. And for the main part, you just need Bluey to be on top of his aerial game. And now that we're seeing him hit those, we know he's on top of his aerial game.
Absolutely. Confidence, again, so key for this PSG roster, and it looks like they're firing on all cylinders right now.
They have got control of the match. They've got control of the ball. Can they get themselves a second goal? Unfortunately for them, PSG will lose possession. Very good outfield play there from Pale Horse. But they need to control it a little bit better. Giving the ball up in midfield just a little bit too easily. PSG just allow them to move forward half the time if they're going to do that. Needs to be a better shadow on the side of Pale Horse. Otherwise they are going to keep giving up. Bluey with a shot. Kia does get saved, but there is options. Bluey takes the shot set option, and Kia will shut that down. 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining, 100 seconds. Pale Horse, they need to find themselves a goal.
Absolutely. You mentioned that they need to maintain this pressure and have a second player shouting, following close. Unfortunately, we see again, time and time, they just push that ball to the side. Nobody's there to follow up on it. They lose possession.
And it's not down to choices right now. Pale Horse, you can see players loitering towards midfield. They want to get into challenges, but they just haven't been quick enough so far. Very good challenge though in the midfield. They need to try and get something out of this. But two players coming into the same area, and a mistouch will allow PSG to go and break away. Just gonna have to start again from base one. Here with a flick over the top of Bluey will read that one. Follow up, shot set, can he be there first? Oh, that is a dangerous bit of play right there, but PSG do survive. 1 minute remaining. Tap down, Vera takes another shot, but once again, Pale Horse, we don't credit them for anything right now. These blocks have been absolutely incredible. They are not giving PSG the space they want. Unfortunately for PSG, they almost gave Pale Horse the space they wanted. If they were able to run off the shot, they could have got it. Oh, another shot. Shot set with the save. Bluey looking for the clear. Let's see shot set come together, clear it to the other end, and now Pale Horse with 30 seconds remaining have it all to do. Lovely aerial there from CJ. Good find here, and now Kami is by himself. Very brave play from him. He needed to win the ball though. He has not won the ball, and Vera could very well have won the game for PSG.
Well said, Shogun. We see Kami right here pressuring the ball. He doesn't need to make that challenge. As we saw, he could have played a little bit more patiently at the last man back, but unfortunately, he is 1 goal down, trying to even up that margin. That's why we see him take those risks.
1-0 down, 2-0 down. Either way, you need to get yourself a goal. Because none of that mentality is there though for Pale Horse. They are here to play, they are here to win, and they are going for... The heart in this game has not been off, it's just been some of the decision-making and the positioning. They are getting caught out on. Another shot there from Farah. This will just be an extra one to add to the tally. Kami does not want it to happen. There's going to be the follow-up from Kami yet again with the block, but we will be ending game number 1. PSG taking 3 goals to 1. They are looking comfortable right now.
Yeah, we talked before. The winning condition here for PSG was to play with confidence, not to get thrown off. Being young on stage, it's a new environment. It's very intimidating. But we saw Bluey with that double touch. We know he's here ready to play. Farah, again, with great control just all around the board. PSG looks, they must be happy with their play, Shogun.
Absolutely. Right now, Pale Horse are not playing bad. Defensively, they are not making that many mistakes. The problem is they have to play so much of it. They need to try and find a better way of clearing the ball. They actually had a couple of good ideas of holding that player in the midfield, but the execution just wasn't quite there. But we look at this game, 5 saves for Kia. And I really want to speak to you about star players in this matchup. We talk about Bluey a lot, but Farah is the experienced veteran here. Not only between in-game, he's already been to an RLCS, but life experience as well. He's a much older player. He needs to be the one that kind of controls the rest of his team and speaks to them. Also on the side of Pale Horse, CJ. He is a huge character. He needs to be loud for his team and just sort of help them motivate themselves to move forward in this series and really take this game to PSG, because there are some problems there right now for Pale Horse, but I do not doubt that they can fix them.
Yeah, we heard Yumi on the desk mention how important it was for Pale Horse to be able to come in and play aggressively and get that interference play. They love to intercept the ball towards the midfield, and unfortunately, not having that second player follow up and not winning enough 50-50s, we saw PSG just keep controlling the match time and time again.
This is going to be a very difficult start for Pale Horse. Went for the double boost commit, allowed PSG to immediately take advantage, getting the ball off the cheat field. Kami gets some touch, but Bluey is on the shadow, gets up with the gun. Kaya though will just continue to keep the pressure away. Unfortunately, that's not going to last long. Vera gets one touch, then follows it up off the rebound. Early lead for PSG.
Oh, this is great placement to go for the touch on the wall here. It actually looks like a shot play going for the wall. Kami's forced to make this thing. It's difficult for him to read, to be able to tell if that ball's going in. And Vera playing patiently, getting that second touch in.
Right now, Pale Horse needs to calm down a little bit. It seems like they feel the need to constantly be in motion, and it's forcing them to move out of positions where they've already got it right.
I would definitely agree. We've seen already now a couple uncharacteristic misses from what we saw in the last game. It looks like there's a lot of pressure. And oh, CJ almost able to put that one in on the net.
Such a difficult shot, but Kia can come in with the follow-up. We are all tied up. That is exactly what we need to see from them. CJ's shot wasn't the most powerful, but it did do enough damage with the setup.
For me, that big play there, Kami, he went so quiet in that last series, but here you saw that pinch there against the ramp on the ground, that pushes the ball into the air, and CJ able to trap that for them. Great team play, all three of the players committing. That's what you like to see, they're confident.
Absolutely, you have to be confident if you want to go for a play like that. Those pinches, they do have a bit of a tendency of just flying it down to the other end of the field. Very little control you have over the power there, but Ferrer wanted to control PSG's destiny. With yet another shot, Bluey gets the flick up high for the rotation. PSG will not allow yet another follow-up. Pale Horse doing a very good job there, playing the ball out, but unfortunately for them, PSG were not committing to any midfield challenges. I had already got everyone back. Flick up high, shot set, just wants to get some people to jump, and he has done so. Shot, however, too close to the middle.
Oh,
there is the counter-attacking play, and it just like that, Pale Horse will take the lead.
Yeah, we see Bluey and Ferrer both go for the same ball, and CJ in perfect position. You see him cut towards the inside. He recognizes there's nobody there, and the pass towards his teammate for the fast counter-attack. This is what we want to see from Pale Horse, playing aggressive interference play and being able to turn that into a quick counter.
We said it in between matches. Pale Horse's ideas are correct right now. The execution game one was just not there. That time, they managed to add everything up. Great idea, great execution, and now they have got themselves that one goal lead. Still plenty of match still left to play. Shot set, does get a block, but Ferrer, you are never going to be able to read that. 3 minutes still left on the clock. Kia forces a bit of a jump out there from Chaussette. PSG looking uncomfortable. Corner to corner, CJ with a flick up. Ferrer does get there in time, holding the midfield. This has been the area that Pale Horse has struggled the most so far, when they've been stuck in defense for long periods of time. See what they can do this time. Ferrer flicks it, gets his corner. A lot of push used, still pressure though from Pale Horse. Louis will try and carry the ball. That's quite bounced right for him, but he still has done ever so well. Set up now for Ferrer. Shot on net. That will be saved. It will not be saved. Off the crossbar into the net. And once again, we are all tied up.
Bluey just fending off two players trying to interfere with his duo, and Ferrer. What placement from halfway across the field and crossbar down. When you are shooting that accurately, it is so difficult to stop you. It felt like Pale Horse had so much control over the match and was limiting PSG's opportunities. But just like that, PSG strike back.
That shot was as close to perfect as you can get. You've got to avoid the play, you've got to avoid the crossbar, and right now Pale Horse need to avoid another goal going in against them. They have done so. Pass over to Kami. Unfortunately, too much angle for him. He will not be able to play it. Now counter-attack. Oh, good save there from CJ. They almost got caught out. Another long clear. There's going to be CJ with yet another flick. I do like this from Pale Horse. They've recognized that PSG are not challenging the midfield, and they are taking advantage of that.
They're doing a really good job maintaining possession of the ball through 50-50s, actually, something that they were struggling with much earlier. They seem to be whipping the ball and just playing a little bit anxious.
Set with the flick. Got it over to Bluey. Bluey looks for the setup. Oh. Very dangerous play, couldn't get it out enough. Chaussette with a flick of his own. He's got Ferrer in support if he wants to find him. Does try to get there, but Kia, once again, brave gameplay, gets out in time, does not allow PSG the route that they want.
And I love seeing this aggressive play here from Kia. Like you mentioned before, PSG seems to be challenging much less, and that might play into that confidence issue we were talking about. These guys have been playing from behind, and you can tell that it's been a struggle all game long to be able to unlock this defense from Pale Horse.
There's another long clear. Wait for a little while. Bluey wanted to wait for the half volley to get more and more power. It's actually worked out very well. Not well dealt with by CJ. Pale Horse struggling in the corner. Bluey waiting in the wings. Is going to leave that for his teammate. Chaussette rotates himself in. Tries to get a block, but Pale Horse are winning the vast majority of them. Ferrer has got to set up. Bluey unchallenged. Takes a shot too low for the follow-up. Chaussette take a shot from anywhere, and he almost made Pale Horse fundamentally aware of that fact. Another setup. We are all tied up. 2 goals apiece. Only 40 seconds remaining. Pale Horse yet again dealing with sustained pressure well.
Oh, this is awkward.
There's going to be an extra shot. Not on target. Kami can try and get the clear. PSG have been on the offensive end for a long period of time now. 30 seconds remaining. One goal could very well be the difference maker. We are in silver goal territory. Josette, good double touch against Kia to men. Bluey now going to be unchallenged by CJ. He is all by himself against every single player, and he just can't deal with it. Vera will turn the ball into the net. And now they just have to hold on for 15 more seconds.
Absolutely wonderful play there from Bluey, able to just dribble that ball all around all three of the defenders. You see, he plays so calm and collected, not pushing the ball as fast as possible, but trying to wait to get the defenders to make a mistake.
It's going to be the Falcon Barry. Would love to end this game right now. 10 seconds remaining. Pale Horse, they've worked ever so hard. They've worked ever so smart in this game, but they need to get the result for it. There's going to be the touchdown from Kia, but the shot not on target, and it will allow Bluey to go for the air dribble. He's going to take his time, find a spot that no one is, and there is nobody in the goal to save that.
Absolutely clinical finishing. Look at this guy off the ceiling, so calm and collected. Just with no time left, still has to rub it in, jabbing those fingers into the wounds of Pale Horse. It looked like they were going to take this game, but no, PSG had something to say about that.
Such a Bluey mindset to have. Everyone else is looking at him just going, get the ball into an area of space, have the ball touch the ground, and we win the match. Bluey says, yeah, but I could score though. And he does. Once again, PSG, they were forced to work for that one though. Pale Horse making very good adaptations, and if they keep this going, winning this next match could turn this into a real threat because they are learning, and they are learning quick.
Yeah, definitely. You look at how Pale Horse was just, the change from game 1 to game 2 was immense. It felt like it wasn't really the play style that was the problem, rather, but the mechanics and the decision making. And they seem to just kind of tighten all that up. And in game 3, I think they'll be able to come in and really give PSG a run for their money. It seemed like they had that game 2 in the bag.
So we actually look at the stats here, and Pale Horse only got themselves 3 shots that game. Now, the reason for that one is, yes, they are controlling the midfield a lot better, but PSG are holding themselves on the goal line a lot more so. Whenever they are getting these long clears from their half into the middle and then launched again into PSG's half, PSG are ready for it right now, and just, it's tough to really make too much of those situations. I'd like to now see Pale Horse recognize the situation they are in, start to play the ball on the ground a little bit more, rather than committing so much boost to something that is just never going to be challenged anyway.
Yeah, when you see PSG not opting to challenge the ball, I think that was because of all the aerial play coming from Pale Horse. They were trying to control the boost game a little bit more, saying, hey, if Pale Horse wants to waste all their boost on that ball there, no problem, we'll keep ours, play calm and collected.
Well, we just talked about control. PSG thoroughly in control of this game, and Josette wants to start this one off early. Couldn't quite get there in time, but Pale Horse's kickoffs, they keep giving up the ball immediately to PSG, and that is leading to a ton of problems.
And not just the ball, but the boost as well. You see the players struggling to determine who should be taking the boost, and that's a huge problem. We've seen as players learn to control the starting boost at the beginning of the game, they're able to build pressure so much faster.
Here taps it down, but only with Josette. Recovered very quickly as well, Josette. Incredible goal during the season, but here's going to be an attempt at one from Pale Horse. As Bluey gets a solid save, will go and block it himself as well. Bluey is all over the pitch. Just can't get rid of him, and Ferrer will push it into Pale Horse's end. Very end-to-end gameplay right now, but for Pale Horse, this is exactly what they need to do. Unfortunately, CJ just too far forward. He's going to have to immediately start to rotate himself back. Just a little bit too antsy right now for Pale Horse. They are unable to control the ball for long periods of time, and that is resulting in situations like this one where they are being left in their own half against PSG. Another rocket of a shot aimed at the top right-hand corner. PSG pushing the envelope. They are pushing the ball. Now they want to push themselves towards the finish line. Ball down to the other end of the pitch. You really have to look at this and just go, the first goal has to go to Pale Horse. They need that confidence builder.
Yeah, they were able to keep the scoreline relatively level and keep their lead after scoring that first goal, but unfortunately, it just seems like they give up the possession and control the game way too much.
Oh, there's going to be a miss there on the defensive. Vera with the follow-up. Early lead taken by PSG.
Bluey dropping that ball down to Josette, who pops it up over the backboard for Fair to follow in. Too difficult there for Pale Horse to follow.
It is a bread and butter goal there from PSG, but it's one that holds very little risk. The offensive team just bounce off the backboard, see if your opponents want to make a mistake. And Pale Horse did indeed make that mistake, so they will be fighting now from their backs. They have to try and stand up now and get another goal, bring themselves into this series, and take this series to PSG. Bluey wanted to get the redirect, couldn't get there in time. Now Ferret, 2v1. CJ, he goes for the shot early. He had Kia on the side as an option. I just feel like there was 3 good options there, 1 bad one, and he went for the bad one. Bluey, tap down, over to Farah. Let's get off the backboards. Good clear, straight to the middle. No follow-up yet again from PSG. It's really been the story of their offense. It's either all or nothing for them right now. It has been working out. Here on the wall has got options. Tries to find 2 players in the middle. Unfortunately, there are 2 players in the middle. CJ is going to have to try and defend. Watch rotating back. PSG still hold on to the lead. 2.5 minutes remaining. Follow up from CJ. Too much angle though. Had to come in from a 90-degree angle and try and find the net. Just too much to ask from him. Constantly leaving one player by themselves whilst there's been constant shadow players for PSG. With Pelhorse, they have to win the challenge outright if they want to maintain possession, because there's just not the confidence there to stick someone else around.
Absolutely. What was so successful for them in game 2 was the 50-50 game. They were so much better at maintaining possession through the 50-50s.
Oh, Bluey. That is incredible. You can just... This is the best example of Bluey you can have. Out of nowhere, plays it onto the wall, flicks it over the top. I didn't expect it. Pelhorse didn't expect it. The only person that did expect it was Bluey.
Yeah, that controlled touch to pick that aerial onto the wall and then get underneath it for that aerial. Let's get so much power on the ball.
So for you right now, Quinn, 2 goals down, 2 minutes remaining. Pelhorse, they need to change something if they want to get back into this. What is the major thing they need to change? And there's been a shot. That is a good thing to change, and that is the scoreline.
I felt like PSG right here just losing focus a little bit. Bluey trying to get that challenge. I think they have a lot more confidence in Bluey here. And Farah, who turned sideways. That's the big mistake there for PSG. He's not positioned properly, and he didn't expect the ball to get past his 2 teammates so quickly. As far as Pelhorse goes, to answer your question, Shogun, they really need to bring in a demo game. We haven't seen any kind of grittiness. They've really just been going for hard clears. I mean, it's just not enough right now. As PSG, the mechanics, the skill, it's too much.
I do have to agree with that view on that one, Quinn. It just seems like Pelhorse, they get the ball and immediately just hand it back. There is an opportunity. PSG are leaving the door open for creative plays, but Pelhorse just haven't managed to do any so far. Kami, the flick up, only up to Farah. Tough of his own. PSG want to try and get themselves that 2-goal cushion yet again. Crucial touch will take it away from the oncoming third man. Here, that is dangerous. Puts it off his own crossbar. Not just Pelhorse have managed to avoid a shot so far. Bluey, I'm going to go for a setup there. I'm not going to call that one a save, although could very well have been a shot on target. The main story here, 1 goal separating these teams, 50 seconds remaining, and Pelhorse struggling to maintain offensive pressure. 2 players committed. It's going to make this very difficult for them.
Yeah, again, like you mentioned, the over-committing, it's happening time and time again for Pelhorse, and it's not enough for them to be able to utilize their teammates, because as you see 2 players going up for the same save, they don't have the map control that they need to be able to deal with PSG's offensive pressure.
Bit of a communication breakdown there as well from Pelhorse. Kami had 0 boost. He should have allowed his teammates to come in and take over. Instead, continue to try and play it and just win the challenge. Another shot, ricochets off the crossbar. 15 seconds remaining. Pelhorse, this is their last throw of the dice. Can they make it stick? Opportunity for Kia. He's put it down, but it was not powerful enough. 5 seconds remaining. Kami doesn't get there in time, and now PSG are on the offensive. CJ just trying to get anything to happen, but there will not be anyone there. It will touch the ground, and PSG are going to advance to the next round.
Yeah, fantastic play here from PSG all throughout the series. It felt like they were never really in trouble at any moment. Game 2 was definitely Pelhorse, in my opinion, best chance at taking the game. And I think once they dropped that series, that lead, that 2-goal lead, it felt like they lost all their confidence and will to play.
Very well played though from Pelhorse. I honestly believe, looking at the gameplay we've seen there, if they can go back, rewatch the VODs, recognize what went wrong for them, I honestly believe they can make a decent run through the lower bracket, but they do need to recognize space when they've been given it.
And the biggest problem for me, the overcommits. It happened on almost every shot coming from PSG, and that's really, you know, when you overcommit so many times, like I said, you lose map control. You just don't have the outlets that you need to be able to pass the ball to a teammate to help you clear the ball, to add a little bit of unpredictability. It just kept biting Pelhorse again.
Yeah, well, for Pelhorse, that will be them done for the day, so they will have an opportunity to really have a look at these matchups and see what they want to do differently. But PSG, they played absolutely phenomenally. And in order to break that down, we're going to hand over to Axeltos and the boys on the desk.
Thank you, Shogun and Quinn. PSG with a 3-0 sweep over Pale Horse to advance to the next round. PSG is going to play later in the day. It's going to be the last match against Cloud9. So that should be a doozy. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One high-performance replay from that matchup, guys. PSG coming in smooth, coming in hot, doing exactly what they need to do.
And what was incredible was that Bluey, in his first ever RLCS World Championship, there is no doubts now. He is a land boy. He popped off, and not only that, every single time he did, you could see a cheeky smile on his face.
Yeah, this series was a confidence booster for PSG. That 3-0, tons of shots on that. We did see Pale Horse start clawing back, though. Game 2 was relatively close. They only had 3 shots, but they did get 2 goals. But just shows that PSG, they made the comeback. Bluey made phenomenal plays.
0 seconds, too.
The 0-second flashy plays. Bluey is known for just making those kind of shots. I thought Bluey played very well. Farah was just cleaning up left and right. He was a leading scorer in the European region, kept that going here in this series. But you got to also give credit to Kami, scoring that first goal for the New Zealand region. They didn't get shut out a single game. The games were very competitive. And even though PSG is that 4th seed that Pale Horse had to go up against, they could have this type of performance against anyone. These guys are so individually talented. But I thought Pale Horse did a great job staying with them. But the raw talent from PSG was just too much.
There was definitely some nerves, but it was just some lack of execution coming out from Pale Horse. They had a couple of games that they definitely could have taken the win. But oh my goodness, PSG, they look like a world championship team right now. And Chorset still has room to improve. They can still get better.
So as far as a little bit of a light teaser for our last match of the day, PSG against Cloud9, one of my main questions was, you know, these guys aren't experienced. They haven't been on this big stage as much as some other teams. Obviously, they were at the Northern Arena, had a nice performance there. But that answered a lot of my questions as far as can they perform this weekend when it all matters? What does this mean for their matchup against Cloud9 and as they advance in the tournament?
This is huge for PSG because they played Cloud9 a bunch just 3 weeks ago at the Northern Arena. 3 different series. They took one of those series, and now they got these nerves out of the way from being on stage for the very first time. Cloud9, all 3 brand new to the stage. So again, watch out for these 1 seeds. This might be one of the toughest games Cloud9 has. I feel like if Cloud9 wins this, we'll probably see them in the grand finals, but it's very likely that they could lose this match.
And like we've talked about in the regular season, just getting to play beforehand, playing once earlier in the day definitely helps your chances going up against a team that's playing for the first time. So PSG, they're a legitimate threat in the upper bracket, and Cloud9 is not going to have an easy series.
They're going to be scary, and it's also scary that it's their first ever season. They've got a long, hard bracket to run. But again, if you take down Cloud9, you could also make it into the upper bracket final.
I cannot wait to see how that unfolds. Remember, Pale Horse not out of the tournament just yet. They're dropping down to the lower bracket, and we've seen crazy lower bracket runs before. But we're going to take a short break here from the RLCS Season 4 World Championship. Coming up next, 2 more teams going to enter the stage. It is Ghost going up against Mockin. Remember, get on Twitter, use the hashtag RLCSWC. We'll be back in just a moment.